Hi everybody, I'm back to do another impromptu gun review from a manufacturer that I actually haven't reviewed anything on this channel yet. Now, I will openly admit that I had a personal bias between brands before, but, sorry, magazine fell over, but I've recently realized that FN makes a superior out of the box pistol. And I'm not just going to say that, I'm going to show the reason why. And today I'm actually going to be just doing 2 of the 509 series. Here we have the full size tactical, and here we have the F09C tactical, and this is the compact. As you can see in size, it is, I don't know if there's a way to show them both. All right. I mean, as you can see, it is quite a bit larger in terms of the handle length as well as on the barrel. So let's just break it down into why I think these are superior to some other brands that personally I have raved about in the past. I'll start with the full size. Now, this feels excellent in the hand. One thing that I love about this immediately is the grip is textured in a way that would not require any stippling like some other brands, but it's not too much. Personally, when I shoot guns that have been stippled, usually by hand, they honestly kind of hurt my hand. They're almost too rough. Now that may just be, I may just have girly hands. I don't know. I mean, you may have calluses and it not be a big deal, but a lot of times it actually makes my hands raw when I shoot other firearms that have too much stippling just because of the rough edges, where this is actually, I mean, I could sit here and run my hand up and down it and it doesn't feel like the sandpaper, etc. This would be easily held in any type of weather conditions, even with light gloves on. This would add some more friction just so your hand doesn't and your grip doesn't change as you are manipulating the firearm. Another thing about this, it has an ambidextrous slide lock. Now, for me, I'm right-handed. That's not a big deal for me, but for those of you who are left-handed, that may be a very big deal. As you can see, it already comes with the threaded barrel to be suppressor ready. You can use it with or without a suppressor, no problem. Another feature right out of the box with this is the tritium sights on it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's one thing that drives me crazy from manufacturers, and usually that's something I'll upgrade on my own, is when pistols do not have night sights. I mean, I really don't understand the justification for that, because if you're using something as an EDC, I want it to be able to perform just as well in the daytime as the nighttime, because I never know when I would ever have to use it, but it's definitely not like crime stops, at sundown. So for me, personally, that's something that it comes right out of the box, and it's not something you have to purchase on your own. That to me is added value on this firearm. It also has a Picatinny rail, so you could add other accessories if you wanted to add a light or whatever else you choose to put on there, you can. Another really, really awesome feature on this is the fact that they all come able to use low profile optics on it. Now, some people are pro optics, some people would rather use iron sights, but the good thing about this gun is you don't have to go get it milled out if you do decide to get a red dot. And the other thing is it comes standard with suppressor height sights. Now that is a big deal for me, a very big deal that I think is often overlooked, because electronics are just that. They're electronics. They can have malfunctions, the battery can die, etc. You never know, it doesn't sit there like an iPhone. It tells you you have 1% left on a Trijicon or something. That's not how it works. So it dies when it dies. And the good thing about this is, even in the case of worst case scenario, you were to need it and realize your red dot is dead, you have suppressor height sights, which will then allow you to shoot directly using the iron sights alone, and you'll be able to still see it through your low mounted optic. That is huge. I know people that spend a lot of money on factory guns getting stippling, night sights, milled for a RMR, and often a barrel change if they want to be able to use a suppressor. No need to do any of that. And as if it doesn't get any better than that, another thing that a lot of people do with another brand or other brands is on the trigger guard. As you can see, this already is cut, has a cut into it, so you can maintain a very high grip on it. Now, a lot of people actually do this to other brands' trigger guards to get the same effect, but this comes straight out of the box with it. So it's honestly really hard for me to argue why any other brand would be superior out of the box, because this has a lot of features that people usually spend a lot of money to upgrade their firearms to. And with this, I really don't know what upgrade you would need to personally do to it. Personally, I wouldn't need to do anything except for maybe put a suppressor on the end of it. But again, that's personal preference and not a necessity by any means. Now, I will also say the large size comes with a 17 round magazine. And it also, if your state allows it, comes with an extended 24 round magazine. Now, you put that in there, 24 rounds. I mean, that's a big deal. And honestly, this doesn't look as ridiculous as some of the extended mags that I've seen on other manufacturers. Like, this is pretty sleek. And for a home defense gun, this is now my bedside gun for this reason. It doesn't have the hokey long extended magazine, and it has 24 rounds. 24 rounds should be able to cover you in any situation necessary with, you know, within reason, basically. You should, I mean, what a great home defense gun if you are able to legally have that. Now, the only thing I have to say, being a female, and my only con with this firearm is only the size. Now, me personally, when I'm summertime, etc., my concealed carries have to be smaller in order for me to fit them, or I just have to wear obnoxiously large clothing that sometimes I just don't want to wear. So there is an alternative to this. Honestly, I could justify and did justify getting both, but, you know, to each your own on what your predominant use would be. But I would say for females, or if you are, you know, have tighter clothing on, etc., the 509C Tactical is an excellent smaller option than the larger one. Now, this comes with a standard 12 round magazine, and I'm very big on, I hate when my pinky can fall off on the end of a gun. I like the little groove that they have there on the end. It allows me to actually get a perfect grip, and I just personally don't like when my pinky floats. I like to have a grip that is long enough to have my pinky on there. Again, that's just my feeling. I just feel like I don't get as good of a grip when it's not there. It just feels like it's dangling in the wind, and I just don't like it. So, this also comes with all the rest of the features I mentioned before, but obviously has a 12 instead of a 17 round magazine. But, dun, 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 it does also come with a 24 round magazine as well. So you get the compact version, but in the event that you were to either need to switch mags or for a bedside or whatever other place that you like to keep a home defense or self-defense item, this is a great option. 24 rounds, you know, you add in your other magazine, I mean, again, you're set. So I am ridiculously impressed with the 509 tactical options that they have between the full size and the compact. I think this wins. I'm not going to say that for sure yet because I want to get a lot more rounds down range with it. I don't like to make like a favorite claim until I know that I've put a lot of rounds through it and a lot of time. Oh, one other thing I almost forgot. Another cool thing is, as you can see, the iron sights are actually protected by like a sight guard on this. Now, for people that had to do one-handed manipulations and rack the slide on their belt loop, their shoe, whatever, in the event that they cannot use the other hand, I mean, this is definitely a nice safety feature just in terms of you don't have to actually worry about hitting the regular sights. You just hit the sight guard and make sure you don't bump your regular iron sights out of alignment. Now, I do know that that usually doesn't happen anyways, but just throwing it out there. So I'm impressed, and you are going to see a lot more FN reviews. Now, yes, I am working with FN, but I've given, I think, numerous reasons as to, without bias, just literally looking at the firearms and showing their features, why out of the box, the FN 509 series might be the most bang for your buck, no pun intended, in terms of firearms right out of the box. I honestly think that for somebody that's getting new into firearms, before you develop a love affair with another brand, just try this, because you'll find that a lot of other pistols require numerous upgrades just to get the same features. This comes straight out of the box, and it's, by the time you were to add in those extra features, those firearms would be a lot more expensive than this guy right out of the box. So I'm impressed, and I hope you guys like this review, and I will be doing a lot more FN reviews, but I genuinely love the 509 series. Like, I'm super pumped. It's pretty hard to impress me right out of the box with a firearm. Generally, I'm always like, well, you could fix this, you could do this, you could do that. It speaks for itself. What can I say? Until next time.